Alright, so we're watching The Art of Faking It by Ty from 99.
You have two options. Option 1. Continue on your current path. Rely solely on your talent, skills, past achievements, and dedication. A path of authenticity, hard work, and the belief that perseverance will ultimately lead you to conquering your goals. Option 2. Take a gamble. Rethink what it means to be authentic, understand the powers of perception, learn how to better seize opportunities, and challenge your ethical boundaries on the path to success. Option 2 is not about malicious deceit or trickery. It's about overcoming obstacles and stretching yourself beyond your comfort zone to embody the person you aspire to be. But beware, if you take this path, you must tread carefully.
Yeah.
So I want to start by offering you a free no-tech life hack.
June 2012. At TED Global, social psychologist Amy Cuddy gives the speech, "Your Body Language Shapes Who You Are," where she argues that power posing, standing in a posture of confidence even when we're not, can boost feelings of confidence and might even have an impact on our chances of success. Her speech has been viewed over 90 million times. The talk and the original scientific paper inspire numerous studies, books, and articles on the power of faking it till you make it, using nonverbal cues to enhance confidence and performance. But what these sources don't tell you is that the power of faking it extends far beyond the realm of body language. 1964. A 3-time college dropout applies to a talent agency in hopes of landing an agent job. One of the requirements for the position is being a college graduate, so he applies to a lower position in the building, working in the mailroom. On his application, he states that he graduated from UCLA, a university only 3 miles up the road from the agency. Once he begins working in the mailroom, he's able to intercept a letter from UCLA stating that he never even attended their university, and replaces it with a letter of his own. He quickly gets the agent job, and eventually donates enough money to the school that they rename a building after him. He's currently worth $8.5 billion. This isn't rare. 7 out of 10 employees lie on their resume, and 65% say lying has helped them land a higher salary. When your worth is determined by the value you're able to negotiate for, it makes sense to try and do anything you can to increase this number. But the fake it mentality doesn't only apply to corporate employment. Co-founder of Apple, Steve Jobs, was notorious for faking presentations for products that didn't work yet, a skill also mastered by Thomas Edison. They exaggerated and presented products before they were functional, but they didn't lie about their skill set or capabilities. They possessed the expertise and determination to overcome obstacles and turn these ideas into reality. And these famous examples are really only the tip of the iceberg. A quick search reveals a vast array of anecdotes, illustrating how countless individuals have achieved success by employing this fake it till you make it approach. And you can read through these on a website that's founders initially posted on hundreds of fake accounts so the site appeared marketable, something almost every social networking site did. And its purpose now extends beyond making the platforms themselves appear popular. There are thousands of services now aimed at enhancing your own perceived popularity through the use of online bots.
Dude, you can actually fake it like crazy on like the terms of social media, because you can buy viewers. Like you said that you're sponsored, but that's just running ads. So you can make people come to your videos by paying the platform to get views in order for you to try to get followers, which I find crazy because I think it should be organic. It means that you don't pay for it. I think it was 4K for 1 million views. Show people, 1 million people will be showing the video, but you had to pay $4,000 out of your pocket for you to get that video to be 1 million views.
Followers, likes, even live stream viewers can be and often are fake. Studies by Statistica and IMAI found that in 2022 alone, over 58% of Instagram mega influencers were engaged in fraudulent activities to increase their follower count, and 25% of all influencers had directly purchased fake followers. The motivation for this is very clear. You'd probably be more eager to subscribe to my channel if I had 600,000 subscribers rather than 600. Because when someone has a large fan base, it serves as social proof that their content or ideas are valuable and appealing to others. But more importantly, in this era of influencer marketing, where companies and artists will raise awareness of their products, services, or music by paying an influencer to promote them, having more followers and engagement means negotiating more money. And it makes sense to try and do anything you can to increase this.
There's a lot of streamers out there, and there's a lot of also Instagram models, anything like that they purchase large amounts of subscribers, and once they have the large amount of subscribers, they just start the following. They just move them because they know they're already successful. And there's a lot of streamers that will say they have 30,000 people watching them, but in reality they have 1,000. But it's stream bots, and I feel a lot of big streamers do that just to increase how many people come in.
This number. Being an influencer is one of the only ways you can get rich by pretending to be rich. Pretending to be more wealthy or attractive than they really are is the norm, and it's something rappers have been doing for years.
I think your attorney said that you were going to have to file for bankruptcy.
But then you're dumping $2 million. Are you not now a sitting duck to have that money seized?
I ain't got it right now. I ain't got it. And that was prop money. Like I said, I ain't got it.
I got 2 twin Glocks, turn you to a dancer. I don't have no straps for nobody. I got bands when I'm flying to France, drinking till a nigga land. Nah, I never went to France. Took an airline to one again, crashed a Rari, so I had to band. I don't even drive.
It's not just wealth either. Artists have historically created false backstories to enhance their image, like Akon pretending he was leading a Fast and Furious car theft ring, or Rick Ross stealing an actual drug kingpin's name. De Niro Ferrari even made fun of this in his OK Music video.
None of this is my jewelry. This is all prop. Literally everything. Down to only thing that's mine is these pants. These shoes ain't even mine. This is all a stunt. Basically, this is a prop.
Artists and labels also employ misleading systems and streaming statistics to enhance the popularity of their releases, like bundling tickets with album sales, releasing repetitive chorus loops, and engaging in business arrangements like buying and giving away 1 million Jay-Z albums so his album goes platinum in a week. These moves are all to boost artists' perceived popularity, leaving us all to question.
How many faking they streams?
These artists have all benefited from these tactics, and while it's misleading, it's not actually harmful to anybody. They're not hurting you by selling you an image of themselves or their success that may be misleading. It's not like they're a politician, like Donald Trump, who ran off his image as a successful businessman, an image that wasn't entirely accurate. Trump is arguably the greatest example of fake it till you make it. He built such a successful personal brand that the money he made off Celebrity Apprentice overshadowed any of his previous business failings and eventually landed him the presidency. It's not all positive. The line between faking it and fraud is a very thin one.
Imagine they push it to that level that you fake it and then it gets you to be the president of the United States. Not once, but twice. I guess some people
The
actually
House
like
Financial Services Committee will begin the first congressional hearings on the Enron debacle tomorrow morning.
Some Enron employees say they are still hopeful that both their company and their jobs can be salvaged somehow.
Not to testify based on my Fifth Amendment constitutional rights.
In 2001, energy company Enron was at the center of one of the biggest cases of corporate fraud in American history. Enron had been viewed as a pioneer for its innovative approach to energy commodities, turning them into financial products that could be bought, sold, and traded like stocks. Enron had engaged in a technique known as mark-to-market accounting, which allowed them to mark future financial projections onto their current income statements, as well as writing off losses through SPEs, or essentially companies created by Enron to isolate risk, so they wouldn't be reported under Enron, further giving a false impression of their finances. The revelation of this fraud led to Enron's bankruptcy, reforms in accounting regulations, and a 24-year prison sentence for its CEO. To this day, the entire industry of financial reporting runs on regulations that were put into place directly as a result of Enron, and the scandal has left a permanent mark on society's view of the business world. In 2003, Enron Vice President Christian Holmes' daughter founded a company of her own, the now infamous Theranos. Dropping out of Stanford to focus on the project, Holmes, who had been dubbed the next Steve Jobs, promised to revolutionize the medical field with cheap, accessible, and quick blood testing technology using only a few drops of blood. Investigations by journalists and regulatory agencies revealed that the company was using industry-standard machines for most of their tests, and due to the sample size of the blood, many of the results were inaccurate, leading to misdiagnosis and death. One of their employees even committed suicide due to stress of keeping the company secret.
They mess with like the health industry. So let's say that you go get blood work done because you feel weak, and then they say that you have like anemia or blood cancer or some shit just because they didn't have like the right amount of blood. Like that really does matter. Like this company should not have made it far, but honestly it would have been like a very cool invention if they actually did make those machines that are affordable with that smaller amount of blood. Also, like that's like seeing like you have like a company, like a photography company, but you're taking photos with your phone instead of like an actual camera. Like it doesn't make sense. You guys see the point?
The company, which was once valued at $10 billion, had been running
$10
on this
billion.
fake it till you make it mentality from the start, with Elizabeth Holmes even allegedly faking her voice in interviews and appearances. In January 2022, Holmes was sentenced to 11 years in prison for fraud. Theranos has been somewhat of a case study for fraud, with the story being depicted in the Hulu miniseries The Dropout, and people drawing similarities between Holmes and any fraudulent startup founder, like Charlie Javis. In 2016, Javis founded Frank, a website that assisted students in obtaining loans and financial aid. In 2021, she sold the company to JP Morgan Chase, and the next year was sued by JP Morgan for fraud. But unlike Theranos, Frank did everything it said it did. Javis wasn't toying with people's lives or or health. Frank simply helped students fill out loan applications for a small fee. The problem arose when Javis paid a data scientist $18,000 for a list of 4 million fake student names and addresses, and then sold the company to JP Morgan under the pretense that she had over 4 million customers, when in actuality that number was around 300,000. When JP Morgan realized 70% of their emails were bouncing back, they sued her for fraud. The backlash was very different for Javis.
Wow.
She's been looked at more as a modern-day selfish Robin Hood. After all, she
Scammer,
defrauded investors and the bank, but not her customers or everyday people. She scammed the rich, and when you scam the rich, you go to jail. In May 2023,
That company was actually like working though, like because it did help people do what it said to do, but just like at a smaller scale. So honestly, if she grew that company to be like way bigger, then it most likely would have worked out. But 300,000 people used it instead of 4 million. But I think you were able to scale it up to 4 million. Like it's possible. It's definitely possible that you could have scaled it up to that amount under the right leadership and also under the right management.
a 4-count grand jury charged Javis with securities fraud, wire fraud, bank fraud, and conspiracy. And she faces up to 100 years in prison if convicted.
Damn, 100 years.
My father was a con man. He worked his way up at his company, became vice president, then left to start his own business with loans he got in others' names. Got supplies from vendors under false pretenses, billed them to his ex-employer's account, and once convinced the store he was contracted to work on to install fake security cameras because they were cheaper, and then stole from that store regularly for years. His company, which made over $1 million, was sued for fraud, and my father died with less than $3,000 in assets. The difference between Elizabeth Holmes and Steve Jobs, or my father and any successful entrepreneurs, is knowing when to stop. While he also faked presentations, Steve Jobs didn't work in healthcare. He wasn't putting others' lives on the line to get what he wanted. He wasn't defrauding investors or associates. While it might cross certain ethical boundaries, lying on your resume about job titles or certain responsibilities, misrepresenting how successful or skilled you are, or even just pretending to be more confident than you are, might be the best move for you as long as you can follow through with your commitments. Even something as small as a single word can change how others view you. It's the reason you see YouTube channels refer to themselves as we, as if there's a team behind them, even if it's just run by one person. It creates an illusion, a tactic that can enhance credibility, making viewers take them more seriously and potentially choosing their content over that of others. The line between faking it and fraud is a very thin one, but if you employ these tactics correctly, you might be more confident. You might be able to finally get the job you've been trying to get. Hell, if you employ these tactics correctly, you might even get elected president.
Damn, I like that video. Love your video.